Good afternoon. I am here for Tuesday Tales. Typically this year, I have had guests on and I have been interviewing. I don't have any guests lined up today, so I am just joining to share with you some storytelling nuggets all by myself. So I did that all last year on Instagram, and then they changed their format. So they didn't save any of my lives. I lost them all. So now I'm on 3 platforms and I'm saving the live recording myself. I am Helen Snell, a business storytelling expert and messaging master, and it is a perfect opportunity for me to share about a recent experience. I've never been one to ask for help. First of all, I like to learn, so I really want to figure things out. I don't know if you can relate to that, but there's something about me needing to learn. I'm also a single mom raising a special needs child, so I have a lot of things to hold together. I need to be independent and fierce and nurturing all in one bundle. And I'm an entrepreneur and I want to pay my own way. Somewhere along the way, I also adopted a belief that I have to work hard for everything I have. Nothing comes without a cost. I remember a bumper sticker my cousin had on his car when I was younger. And please forgive me because I'm going to swear, but it said on the bumper sticker, ass, gas, or grass. Nobody rides for free. Maybe it's his fault that I think that if you give me something, I owe you. I'm not sure. But if you put that message out into the world, that's exactly what you get. A life of checks and balances. And I have lived that way too long. I've been working with a coach lately who's been challenging my beliefs because they have been holding me back both in my business growth and in personal fulfillment. And this past weekend was an eye-opener. I have been in need of something in my life. And to protect the innocent, I won't name it here. So mysterious. But I did receive it on the weekend. And after the initial satisfaction, I suddenly became, uncomfortable and short-tempered and angry. I had a really short fuse and I just was feeling unsettled. And that feeling lingered. What I discovered was that was actually just masking my guilt. I didn't feel I deserved it. I had 2 recent business calls, and both of the people that I had spoken with suggested collaborations and exchange of services. They recognized my value as a storyteller because they could use that to expand their connections, and they wanted to trade. No guilt. But when someone offered me something with no strings attached, I felt it deep. Why can't I do this on my own? I should know how. I should have figured this out a long time ago. I'm aware. That's the start. And I'm changing that recording that's playing in my head that's to say things like, I deserve good things. I will accept generosity without question. I am worthy. Often when I'm writing content for a client, I can see this same reaction. They don't believe the impact I suggest in their story biography, or they don't think they have a story that is worth sharing with an audience. Maybe I can recognize it because I was there. They say that your client, especially if you're working in coaching, is you, just a few years behind where you are right now. So working through this helps me see that for my clients to guide them towards confidence in their story and strong messaging. That's a story that I could share on social media, or I could share it in a sales presentation, one-on-one with a client. I could share it on an online stage or a personal stage about how I relate to clients to bring out the best in them. So you're probably feeling somewhat of a deeper connection to me if you have experienced those same feelings about doubt or imposter syndrome or worthiness. That's the power of story. The story process is a proven science that removes that protective state our brain is controlled through the amygdala, and it allows a more open response through a neural pathway connection. There's actually a connection between brains when someone tells a story and someone else is listening. It's not fluff. It's not all emotional. It's actually proven science. So how could 3 other businesses use this story? So let's start with a real estate agent. So they could share a story maybe that goes something like this. I received help managing a difficult closing process from an associate in my office. I felt obligated to share my commissions. It seemed like the right thing to do, and I felt really uneasy when they declined. I realized I wouldn't have been in that spot at all if I had asked for what I needed earlier in the deal. I wanted to handle it myself. I had a little bit of pride maybe. But I want to encourage you as a buyer not to shy away from asking for what you need from me. Real estate is often the largest purchase decision in your whole life, and I want to be there to make it easier. Don't be afraid of asking something silly or awkward or outright blunt or what you think might be rude. I'm here to serve you. Example 2. Let's look at a storefront, like a jewelry store or a bakery. So they might be attending a local networking group and they share this story. You know, when we opened, we tried to please everyone. People would tell us they wanted long hours, and we felt guilty if we weren't open all the time. So we were pretty much open 9 to 9 every day. We had to hire lots of part-time staff, but whatever we did, it just didn't seem to create that satisfaction that we wanted with our clients. So what we've discovered is that we offer the best service when we have full-time staff and regular hours. It might not be quite as convenient to get to the store by 6 p.m. instead of 9 p.m., but the quality of service that you'll get means you will return. We stopped operating out of guilt and people pleasing to be secure in the quality of both our product and our service with well-trained staff. I hope you'll stop by and see us. And for the third example, I always like to try and throw in some kind of a wild card if I'm doing this with business ideas. So what's a business that would not seem to align with the idea of having issues with guilt or feeling worthy? So how about if we look at a high-level earner with a network marketing company? Their story might sound like this. When I was first introduced to this business, I couldn't grasp the idea of earning money from someone else in my downline. I felt very undeserving because I grew up with the mentality of hard work for success. You might have heard the story of, not having to trade time for money. That's why network marketing is so great. But that's exactly what my belief system was. And guess what? I was not building a team effectively. That might be hard to believe as a 7-figure earner now, but it's true. I saw the value in the business. I believed in the products, and I aligned with the vision of the company. But I just couldn't sell a concept that I didn't believe in. So I had to do some digging and find out why. And I came to realize I didn't see myself as a leader who could guide the team. I didn't think that I was deserving of that income. If I couldn't lead, then I didn't deserve those mentoring fees that I was getting. So I had to show myself that I was already a leader. I led my family. I led on my volunteer committee. I was coaching kids' sports. I was leading. I am a leader. So I just applied those same philosophies from sports and volunteering and life to my team. They feel it. I feel it. And my business grew because I grew a little bit inside. And you can too. So I hope these different ideas have shown you how people may relate to your story. One could be a sales presentation. One could be at a networking event. One as a keynote speaker. Stories truly do connect. I hope you'll join me next week live at 5 p.m. EST for Tuesday Tales, where I will have a live interview and I will build a story on the spot for my guest. Thanks for joining today. And I hope you weren't disappointed that I didn't have a guest. I just thought it would be fun to throw this out there and talk a little bit more about how storytelling can just grow from everyday things that happen in your life. That's what makes us who we are. And that's why people buy our business. They're buying us. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night.